माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदा। जमुना तीरा बनचारी जमुना तीरा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणार वृंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टुकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। सबद्धहृदयस्तस्मिन् अर्भके कलभाषिणी निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलं मुमुदे जरठो भृशम्। सबद्धहृदयस्तस्मिन् अर्भके कलभाषिणी निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलं मुमुदे जरठो भृशम्। सबद्धहृदयस्तस्मिन् अर्भके कलभाषिणी निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलं मुमुदे जरठो भृशम्। एक प्रभु जी, एक माता जी प्लीज। अर्भके कलभाषिणी निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलं मुमुदे जरठो भृशम्। माता जी। तस्मिन् अर्भके कलभाषिणी निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलं। Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because of the child's broken language and awkward movements, old Ajamal was very much attached to him. He always took care of the child and enjoyed the child's activities. Purport. Here it is clearly mentioned that the child Narayan was so young that he could not even speak or walk properly. Since the old man was very attached to the child, he enjoyed the child's activities. And because the child's name was Narayan, the old man always chanted the holy name of Narayan. Although he was referring to the small child and not to the original Narayan, the name of Narayan is so powerful that even by chanting his son's name, he was becoming purified. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Srila Rupa Goswami has therefore declared that if one's mind is somehow or other attracted by the holy name of Krishna, tasmat kenapi upayena mana Krishne nivashaye, one is on the path of liberation. It is customary in Hindu society for parents to give their children's names like Krishna Das, Govinda Das, Narayan Das, and Vrindavan Das. Thus they chant the names Krishna, Govinda, Narayan, and Vrindavan and get the chance to be purified. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Because of the child's broken language and awkward movements, old Ajamal was very much attached to him. He always took care of the child and enjoyed the child's activities. Hare Krishna. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, where we are hearing, where Sukdev Goswami is giving us such a wonderful picture of the life of whom? Ajamal. This is a fallout of the last canto's last chapter. 5th canto, last chapter, yaad hai na? What was it? Hellish planets. So, Parikshit Maharaj dar gaye. Parikshit Maharaj was scared. What is the solution? Because everybody is so sinful, especially in Kali Yuga. Means destination kya? Hellish planet. So, in response to that concern of Parikshit Maharaj, Sukdev Goswami starts talking about the life of Ajamal, which is very hope-giving. This is just the starting of the Leela. I won't get into the second part because I'll leave it to the other speakers who will speak about it. But if we see Ajamal is one of those characters, personalities of Srimad Bhagavatam who's referred to most of the times, right or wrong? Like you refer to Draupadi, Queen Kunti, Parikshit Maharaj, Dhruva, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, right? In sabka we keep giving references, we keep referring to these personalities, right or wrong? Ajamal, he's referred outside Gauriya Vaishnava, wherever. I remember when I was a student of Guru Granth Sahib, over there I had heard about Ajamal. Ajamal ko antkal mein Narayan Sudha aayi. Over there I only got a trailer, I didn't get the bigger picture, now we are getting the whole picture of Ajamal's life. So he's a very well referred personality of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will ask you all a question. We all give the reference of Parikshit Maharaj, right? In what context? Anybody want? There are a lot of examples where we use Ajamal as a lot of context. What context would we use? Ajamal. Ajamal. Personality of Ajamal we use as an example for what? To establish what? What do we use him as an example for? In what context? Power of holy name. First thing that comes when we want to establish how powerful holy name is, we use Ajamal's example. Anybody else? So many we can think of, right? Dhyayato Vishaya Pumsam. Ajamal ka pastime is the best. He just saw one sight, dhyan ho gaya, and then from there, pura uska vinash ho gaya. So, lot of we use Ajamal in a lot of context as an example. What I am going to try to explain through Ajamal's pastime, and in this current verse also we will see, is how in Ajamal's example, a great calamity, a great catastrophe, Vipada, ended as what? A great blessing. And we'll see in Bhagavatam, there are a lot of examples. Rather, whole Bhagavatam is that only. What other example immediately comes to our mind? Govardhan Leela. How did Govardhan Leela start? Indra, he's going to, destroy the whole of Vrindavan. And all the Brajavasis, simple Brajavasis, they are running to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhavo, please save us, save us, save us, right? How does the pastime end? Krishna has lifted Govardhan, all the Brajavasis are under Govardhan. ठीक है, बारिश हो रही है, it's still raining. Now what are the Brajavasis praying? May this rain never end. Imagine. 7 days when they were under Giriraj, the sweet pastimes and the interaction they were having with Krishna, that what started as a vipada, as a calamity, now the Brajvasis are praying that may this rains never end. How many of us were praying when COVID was there, may this COVID never end? Any hands? You were praying, Prabhu? I saw one hand went up. You were praying that COVID should never end? I thought no hands will go up. That's why I asked that question. After COVID, stock market crashed. How many are hoping again stock market should crash? It should never come up. Ukraine war. Everybody thought World War hone wala hai. How many of you are hoping this war should never end and it should become a world war and whole world war should end? The whole world should end? Anybody? See, we need to understand. Next step, if you see, Kunti Devi, she's praying. What is Kunti Devi praying? Vipada Santota Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Let the Vipadas keep coming back. How many of us are praying for COVID to come back? If you didn't pray for COVID to end, anybody praying COVID should come back? No hands. How many are praying for a world war? Ki Ukraine ka war fir se hona chahiye and it should end up in a world war. But Kunti Devi is praying that all these vipadas, and they went through real vipadas, right? That means praying that Mahabharata should happen again. She's praying again for that poisonous cake. She's again praying that her house should be set up on fire. Imagine. Why is she praying? Some people might think, actually, kya hai na? See, Kunti Devi has gone through so much trauma. So when you go through so much trauma, to kya hota hai? Mental imbalance ho jata hai. It's natural. When you go through too much trauma, you're mentally imbalanced. You don't know what is right, what is wrong, what you should look for. So Kunti Devi ka ho sakta hai, she's got a bit mentally imbalanced. That is why in the next line she gives the reason why she's asking for calamities to come back. What is the next line? Bhavato darshanam yatsya. Because when these calamities were there, now see, the meaning of darshan does not mean only Krishna standing in front of you, right? So many times we are standing in front of Krishna, in front of Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Are we actually, what is the real meaning of darshan? Connected to Krishna. I'm experiencing Krishna. How much is Krishna a reality in my life? In the Vipada. That is the meaning of darshan. See, Krishna ka darshan can happen in so many ways. It does not necessarily mean standing in front of you. You can experience Krishna through Bhagavatam, right? There's so much nectar. If you hear, you can taste Krishna through Bhagavatam. You can taste Krishna through the holy name. Many of us experience Krishna in which way? The most powerful way? Prasadam. That is the easiest way, and all of us, when we are eating prasadam, kitna relish karte, wah, kya prasadam hai. That is darshan. Darshan don't take it that darshan when she is meaning ki Krishna should. In their case, yes, Krishna was there in front of them, present in front of them. But in our case, okay, Krishna is not experiencing Krishna, connecting to Krishna. How much are we connected to Krishna? How much is Krishna a reality in our lives? That is the meaning. And that happens when calamities come in our lives. Right or wrong? When calamities come, kya chanting karte hain hum log? Hare. That is why she's saying, let calamities keep coming, coming and coming. And what is the last line? Apunar bhava darshanam. That is the next result she's saying. Because if I'm connected to Krishna, I'm experiencing Krishna, then what will happen? The material existence, bhava darshanam, will not have any impact on me. Jai Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan, Gaur Nitai ki. She's saying, apunar bhava darshanam. Fir ye jo bhava ka material existence ka jo, what impact is has on us, we will not experience it. So very important to understand calamities. In case of Ajamal right now is in a calamity. We don't have to wait till the last part, when he will actually be, seeing the Yamadutas. That is the calamity. He is right now in a calamity. How? First part of this purport and second part, we'll divide it into two halves. What is the first part? In the first paragraph, it is being said, Ajamal is 88 years old. How long? How old is he? He's in his 80s. Old man. Now, in his old age also, what are we reading? He's so attached to his son, Narayan. And this son of his is his 10th son. He has 9 children and this is his 10th son. He's so attached. Small children, when we see his first teeth coming out, so we feel so excited. Dekho, daant nikal raha hai. We get ecstasy, right? When the kid just smiles, kya ecstasy milta hai hum log ko. So, at 80, after 9 children, he has seen the teeth of 9 children. Now he's seeing the teeth of the 10th child growing. He's getting ecstasy in that. He's so oblivious, he's so unaware of the calamity that is coming. That means his vipada has already started, right or wrong? Because if you don't prepare for a calamity that is coming, right? Pre-warned is forearmed. If somebody warns you before only, then only you will be prepared, right? If you know there's a warning, barish aane wala, you will take chhata and go, right? Pre-warned is forearmed. But in case of Ajamal, he's totally unaware, he's totally oblivious of what is in store. And Ajamal is the perfect personification or example of today's society. Everybody in today's society, you see, they are so caught up, even in their late age. In the park, you will see old men sitting, they'll be talking about what? Stock market. They'll be talking about cricket. They'll be talking about war. Everything but Krishna. And just try to go and talk to them, something, give them a Bhagavad Gita or explain something. Humko sikha raha hai. So this is a calamity. The Prabhupada, through that pastime of whom? Kailash. You remember? Kailash's pastime, Ajamal, and today's society are one and the same. When Narad Muni went to Kailash, how old was he? He was not 80. He was 18. He was a young boy. And Narad Muni is telling him, Bhakti karo. I have my exams coming. Just let me finish my graduation. Definitely. This is the same answers that Kailash gave, we see in today's world also. So, next time when Narad Muni comes, what does Kailash tell him? Graduate ho gaya. Now what? Career. Same thing, we approach people. Career, Prabhu, abhi new job. I've just got a new job. I'm starting a new business. Narad Muni comes back. Munivar, I've just got married. Right? Same thing. I just got married. My family. Narad Muni comes back. I just got a kid. Next time I got another kid. Now my business is growing. He's become 50 years. He's totally oblivious. Right? He's totally oblivious to this calamity that is coming. In the material world, which Krishna has certified, Dukkhalayam and what? Asukham. How will calamities and catastrophes not come? To try to become Sukhi and free of all problems in this material world, which is Dukkhalayam and Asukham, it's as crazy as what? You walk into a jeweler store. Jeweler store mein kya milta hai? You will get ornaments and all that, right? You walk into the jeweler store and you tell the jeweler, 2 kilo aloo chahiye. Doesn't that sound crazy? Would anybody walk into a jeweler store and ask for 2 kgs of potatoes? Or Prabhupada used to give the example, as impossible as a person jumping into water and expecting what? I won't get wet. Dekho, samjho, I know most of you all have heard this. But we have to keep hearing. Because every time when we hear, we are reminded, oh, refresh hota hai. We have to keep refreshing and reminding ourselves. How much are we preparing ourselves for? Ajamal, he was not, Kailash, he died. Everybody knows, right, the story. Narad Muni kept telling him, yes. Finally, he died. After dying, Kailash became a dog. He still didn't learn his lesson. Narad Muni is still telling him. Narad Muni is giving him the opportunity as a dog. Bhaiya, ab. No, I have to protect this whole property and, my sons are so. He died, became a serpent. Again, Narad Muni is helping him. Look, this is the sadhu. Sadhu does not give up. Sadhu doesn't give up. As a serpent, he is trying to help him. Ab lele. He was not ready. See, sometimes what happens when we don't give in, what happens? The sadhu has to become heavy. If the sadhu is a real well-wisher, like Narad Muni, he was a real well-wisher. He said, yeah, aise nahi samjhega. We know what he did, right? Only when that Kailash as a serpent was being beaten by his sons with a stick, he woke up. Right? Sometimes I won't say we, don't learn it the easy way. प्यार से समझाते हैं हमको साधु लोग, नहीं समझते. We don't understand. Then what the sadhu has to do? Material energy gives us that slap. Then we wake up. Then he woke up. As a serpent, then he realized, my own sons, they are beating me with a stick. He gave up. He did what Narad Muni told him to do. So similarly, here we are seeing, in case of Ajamal, till 88, he is totally oblivious, unaware of the calamity that's coming. Right? So now, I won't talk about the calamity because that's coming in the following chapters. As I said, I'll leave it for the other speakers to talk. What I want to share is, I was thinking, this is such a wonderful verse, what to share with all of you all. So I thought I will share with you all one lecture, one class I had heard from my Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, many years back, in which he explained what will happen in the life of a devotee, or why devotee, in anybody's life, if these three calamities happen, three catastrophes, he explained. And that is what time is very limited, I'll just walk through them. Actually, these three catastrophes, three calamities, I talk one class each, but I'll just walk through them. So he explained how these three are the real catastrophes or calamities. If what will happen in the life of a person or a devotee if these three catastrophes happen, if they befall on a devotee. And then I was thinking that all these three catastrophes we'll talk about, they are so related to the festivals also that we just celebrated. So I said, it's good. I'll talk on that so that people will be able to relate. What are the last 3-4 festivals that we celebrated? Last festival kya tha? Haridas Thakur disappearance. Right? One. Before that? Radha Ashtami. I'll go for the big ones. I know there were a lot of festivals. Radha Ashtami. Before that? Prabhupada Vyas Puja. And before that? Janmashtami. So we'll see through these three catastrophes that we'll talk, how they are related to Haridas Thakur's disappearance, Radha Ashtami, Janmashtami, and which one I missed? Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the integrating factor between these three festivals. And I'll keep it very short because time is short. So we see in this life of Ajamal, what is the second half, as I said? First half, he's playing with the kids and he's totally oblivious of all the, calamities that are coming. And in the second half, what does Prabhupada explain? But this Ajamal, what has he done? He didn't do actually. His wife and sadhu came and blessed his son with the name what? Narayan. Now, Ajamal is not, as Prabhupada explained, he is not chanting the Lord's name. Right? Whose name is he taking? His son. His whole consciousness, his mood, understanding is Ajamal. Narayan, his son. Narayan, pani la do na. Narayan, I'm very tired. I want to sleep. So he's taking the name of Narayan, 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 and what is the result we will understand now. But Prabhupada explains in the purport that in Hindu, Indian, Vedic culture, what names we used to give to our children? Why? Because we'll see, as Prabhupada has already explained, even unknowingly, unconsciously, he is chanting Narayan's name. In the background, purification is happening. He also doesn't know, but it's happening. So Prabhupada explained that is the reason why in our Vedic culture, we used to keep names of children, spiritual names. Govinda, Gopal, Narayan, right? And nowadays, people are, if you tell somebody to keep their son's name Narayan, kya Prabhu? They keep such names. I'll tell you truthfully, sometimes I cannot even pronounce the name. ऐसा नाम, it should be, fancy, एकदम unique होना चाहिए. My son's name is totally unique. Kiara. What is Kiara? One person told me my son's name is Laksha. तो मेरा लक्ष्य का मीनिंग क्या? बोला गोल. तो मैंने उसको पूछा what is the goal of your life? बोला my son. ठीक है. I want him to, parents have goals for their children. He had his whole due respects, whatever his goal was. Laksha. So they keep all these names, right? But what more importantly I want to share with you all is, even in our devotee world, what happens? If we don't have this understanding, see, a lot of you all, as I said, have heard it, but we need to keep hearing it. What happens in our devotee world also? A devotee's name is Chaitanya. Right? Do you know how he is addressed? How everybody is calling him? Chait! Hey Chait! Hey Chait! Just so that, it, and he feels very good about it. Because, it sounds so, hep sound karta hai na? Chait! Then another devotee was there. His name was Rishikesh. Kitna acha naam hai na? Rishikesh kaun hai? Master of the senses. उसको शॉर्ट करके उसने फैंसी कैसे कर दिया? ऋषिक. अरे ऋषिक मीन्स व्हाट? व्हाट डज ऋषिक मीन? सेंसेस. So we need to understand, because it sounds so good. Rishik, hey Rishik, what do you do? Hey Rishik. I'll tell you all one personal experience. I was in Atlanta, and one of my devotee friends. See, I'm not being critical of these people. Okay, we are trying to learn lessons from them. हम लोग यहाँ, we are not sitting to make fun of them. We want to learn from them. So this devotee, he was my very best friend, and till today I pay obeisances to him for something he did in my life. So he got married, he got a son, and that time in Atlanta only Indradum Maharaj was there. So Indradum Maharaj named his son what? Neel Madhav. Kya naam hai? Right? So he was very happy. I have been blessed with a son, and now Maharaj has blessed the son with such a wonderful name, Neel Madhav. So few days later I went to their house, and first the wife, she told me, "Oh Prabhu ji, Neela so raha hai." Kaun so raha hai? Neela so raha hai. I didn't take it very easy, I thought. Then Prabhuji also, that devotee also was all the time talking to me. Neela is very sick, and then Neela went, he's very mischievous. So then I stopped him. Prabhu, kya kar rahe ho? Bola, kyun? I said, why you are chanting Neela, Neela? What does Neela mean? Blue. Now, he may get some benefit because Indradum Maharaj has given the name. Thoda benefit shayad mil jayega. But I told him, if you want to truncate, you leave the Neela and make it Madhav. Madhav, Madhav chant karega to benefit milega. But see, this is the problem of the Neela and the Madhav, which is the more hep one. Neela kar diya usko. See, again, we are not making fun of these devotees, right? What we are trying to do is learn a lesson, even in our devotee world. When we are doing something, how we are doing, why we are doing, we should have an understanding. That is why you have to keep hearing this. Now see, in case of Ajamal, Narayan, he didn't make it Nara. Nara karega to who? What is he saying? Nara, Nara. The good thing was he was chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And because he was chanting Narayan, 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 he was getting some benefit. He was getting purification. Why? Now here's the first catastrophe we can say, which Maharaj was explaining, which I'll tell you on. Because this name Narayan and the Lord Narayan are abhinna. Right? Krishna's name and the person Krishna are non-different. Abhinna, right? Everybody knows that very famous verse. What? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Ras Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinnatvan Nama Namino. Why is the name of Krishna Nama Chintamani? Chintamani ka matlab kya? It's a touchstone, right? We can talk so much about it, we don't have the time. Why is the name of Krishna Chintamani? Nama Chintamani Krishna. It's Chaitanya, it's conscious. Chaitanya, it's Rasa Vigraha. It's the embodiment of all rasas. Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddho, it's all pure. Nitya Mukto. Why? Because this name Krishna and Krishna are non-different. One and the same. Now Maharaj mentioned catastrophe number 1. If and when Krishna differentiates himself from his holy name, from abhinnatvan nam namino, it becomes bhinna namin. Anybody of you all have heard this class? I heard it many years back and truthfully I lost track. I caught this one statement and I'm trying to make it my daily meditation. Daily meditation to nahi hai, Vyasasana pe I cannot speak here. I'm trying to make it my meditation. Yesterday I was talking to the transcript team and they said they'll definitely find out and share that lecture with me. Many years back he spoke. So he said, what happens in the life of a devotee or any person when Krishna differentiates himself from the holy name? Means Krishna's name and Krishna are no longer one and the same. Isko socho. It's just like if you say Suresh. Suresh bolne se or Krishna bolne se, it will be the same result. Now, many of you all might be thinking, kya Prabhu? Aisa kabhi hoga kya? What are we discussing? This is never going to happen, Prabhu. Right? But what he was explaining is very important to understand. When do we value something? Suppose you have something very valuable, a jewel, or a person who's very valuable in our lives, our parents, mother, father. You know, as long as the thing is there, the person is there, do we value it? Most of the time we don't. Right or wrong? Mother hai, mummy khali bolte, you're only talking, papa. But when that same mother passes away, then we realize, father passes away. We have a car insurance, we have a health insurance, right? How many of us think of that insurance every day? We don't even think of it. But when that insurance is about to expire, notice aata hai na? 7 days, insurance is expiring. Jaldi se we have to renew it or not. As long as it's there. Similarly, he was explaining. Because a lot of you all might think, kya Prabhu, what are we discussing? Krishna will never differentiate. Krishna has said, me and the name are the same. No. We have to understand that if we lose this, what will happen? Because then you will value. Right or wrong? Then you will value. Ki this Krishna ka naam and Krishna are non-different. I must value it. Otherwise, kya hoga? We can sit and give wonderful seminars, presentations, classes on Nama Chintamani Krishna. It's good. Please don't stop that. We have to continue that. But then what will happen if we are just giving classes and seminars? What will happen? I'll give you an example. There was a Brahmana. He used to stay in a small village. And there was one small girl who was, I was thinking of an example and you all won't believe it, 2 days before I read this example. So I thought, Krishna is telling me to share this example. So this young girl every day in the morning would come to give him milk. Her father had a gaushala, so she would come from house to house giving milk. And every day in the morning, this Brahmana would shout at the girl, why are you coming so late? Because of you, I cannot make offering, I cannot do my yagya. Every day he would shout and the girl would give the same reply. Babaji, main kya karu? I am dependent on the boatman. till the boatman doesn't come, sun doesn't rise, I cannot cross the river. I stay on the other side of the river. One day the Brahmana got so angry. He said, why are you depending on this boatman? Haven't you heard? He was talking of other sadhus. Nanak naam jahaz hai, chade so utre par. Name is like a, holy name is like a boat. Just step on it and you can cross the ocean of material life. What are you talking of? River. So this girl, she's a young girl. She just smiled. Ha Babaji. And she went away. Next day morning. So this Brahmana Babaji is thinking, abhi to sun bhi nahi rise hua hai. Who's this? So he went and opened the door. Who was standing? That girl. So this Brahmana got surprised. How did you come? You were saying there's no boat, there's no boatman, sun is not. How did you come? She said, Babaji, you told me yesterday. Naam jahaj hai. So I just was chanting Krishna, 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 and I stepped on the river and I walked across and came here. Brahmana got more angry. Main bekoof hai? You think I'm a fool? She said, no, I did it. She caught his hand and brought him to the bank of the river. And right in front of him, she's closing her eyes and Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. She's walking on the water. And when this person is seeing, he's wondering what's happening. She comes back. Now she's totally convinced. When this Babaji is saying, means he can also do it, na? She caught his hand. Aa jao Babaji, saath mein chalte. Babaji bola, no. She caught him, brought him, she's taking him in the water. She's chanting Krishna, she's walking. This Babaji, no, Krishna, falling into the water. We can give classes, it's good. But then this is the how much? When we say abhinnatvan nam namino, how much are we investing into that? And Maharaj said, to the degree we don't, then that is catastrophe, right or wrong? Because this is our weapon. When the catastrophe will come, then we won't take shelter of holy name. Because today when we are sitting to chant, we are in good situation. We are not taking shelter of holy name. हमको अपना 16 round complete करना है. Good, at least complete it. But then when the catastrophe will come, will you take shelter of the holy name? Because then what will be the situation? Holy name hoga bhi. You may call out also. You won't get the ultimate benefit of the holy name. See, in case of Ajamal, he chanted Narayan, Narayan, right? When he saw the Yamadutas, he was saved from them, right or wrong? But did he become a pure devotee then? No. He had to go to Haridwar for 12 years or something, they say. I don't know how many years, right? Only when he went to Haridwar, he did bhakti and all, then he became a devotee and he got the result. So we will be deprived of the ultimate result of the holy name. It is just like, suppose you are on the battlefield. You have a gun. Gun hai. There are no bullets in it. Kya hoga? The enemy, you can't tell the enemy, hey, I don't have bullets. Huh? Wait, let me. You'll be shot. Similarly, the holy name is there, it's abhinna. But when the calamity will come, we won't be able to take shelter. So, first catastrophe Maharaj was explaining is Krishna differentiates himself from the holy name. This is the negative side of a person who didn't have complete understanding of the holy name being non-different. I was going to talk of the positive side also, one very nice pastime of Arjuna. No time, in 5 minutes I have to talk of 2 catastrophes. I'm just going to walk through them. So then, next is what? See, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, right? Prabhupada said, even though we say Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but Prabhupada said Hare Krishna ye Maha Mantra nahi hai. What is Hare Krishna? It's a prayer. Right? Praying to whom? Not Krishna, not Rama, not Balram. Whom are we praying to? Hare. That is when the Mahamantra 8 Hares hai, 4 Krishna and 4 Rama, right? So we are praying to whom? To Srimati Radharani. The whole Maha Mantra is our prayer to Srimati Radharani to somehow or other, directly, indirectly, in any insignificant way, engage us in assisting you to serve Krishna. Right or wrong? That's the prayer. To get Krishna's mercy. And that is why you'll see what form of Srimati Radharani even Prabhupada established. In all the temples you'll go, Maharaj was explaining, what is the form of Radharani that comes straight in our minds when we think of Radharani? Maharaj said, Radharani's outstretched hand. And he said, what is this outstretched hand? Of mercy. And that is why you see now, Lord Shiva is praying to Srimati Radharani. Right? Kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhaja. Kripa kataksha. Just a sidelong glance. He's not even telling Radharani to look at me. Radharani looking at him and then him between two, agar mere ko ek jhalak de diya. Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma goes and becomes, his forehead becomes hills where? Why Barsana? He could have gone to Govardhan, to Gokul Dham, to Vrindavan, to Dwarka and become the four hills, no? Why Barsana? Our Srila Prabhupada. See, hear this carefully. After Prabhupada established the ISKCON world, we will see Prabhupada's reference of Srimati Radharani is very minimal. Right or wrong? Prabhupada doesn't refer to Srimati Radharani at all, you can say. Even on Radhashtami day, you all must have heard so many classes. 45 minutes, he talks of Jivatma, he talks of Krishna, and somebody might think, I thought first time, did I sahi class chalaya ki nahi? Radhashtami ka class hai. Last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he'll talk of something about Radharani. Right? But this same Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling on the Jaladuta from India to USA, he wrote 2 poems, you all know, right? One of the poems, what did he write? Krishna tava punya habe bhai. What is the next line? Jobe Radha Rani khushi hobe. So directly he gave the key. You want Krishna Kripa? Krishna will only bestow all his virtues upon you when Jobe Radha Rani khushi hobe. This is actually the heart of Prabhupada which flowed out in that bhajan. And after that he locked it. After that he never referred to Radha, right? But there he gave it. It just flowed out. Radha Rani's mercy. And Maharaj said, that is the second catastrophe. If one is devoid or deprived of this outstretched hand of Srimati Radharani's mercy, if this hand, catastrophe. If we know what is Radharani's kripa, her kripa on a jackal, everybody has heard the pastime, right? On a prostitute, everybody has heard, right? Very quickly, I'll tell you one pastime. There was a young boy, I heard it in Brajbhumi many years back. It's a very popular incident which happened 200-300 years back. There was a young boy, he was not staying in Brajbhumi. He knew nothing about Radha, Krishna, nothing. He was staying far away from Delhi or somewhere. So, young boy, what happens to young boys? They get attracted to young females. So, he got attracted to some girl. After that, he got married to her also. Now, this girl's name happened to be what? Kishori. Very similar to this pastime, but in a very different flavor. So this boy, when he got married, Kishori pani de do, Kishori main ban mein ja raha hu, khet mein ja raha hu, Kishori I'll come late, Kishori. What happened? Long story short. Within 6 months to 1 year of his marriage, his wife Kishori died. And he went mad. Kishori, where is my Kishori? Have you seen Kishori? He went mad to such a degree, long hair, beard, not eating. The house people also threw him out from the house. Nahi chahiye. On the streets, he's asking, have you seen my Kishori? You know who's Kishori? So one day, suddenly one person just, mazak mein usko bol diya, your Kishori? I know where she. Where? Barsana chale jao. Wahan mil jayegi. He didn't even know what is Barsana, where is Barsana. Now he started asking, where is Barsana? You know where is Barsana? He reached Barsana. Now in Barsana, he is asking everybody, where is Kishori? Where will I get Kishori? So they point him to Shriji Mandir, chale jao. Sidi hai na? Upar chale jao. Kishori stays there. That's her eternal residence. Now try to imagine what must have been the anticipation or expectation of this person. वो जब एक एक सीढ़ी चढ़ रहा है and he's chanting Kishori, Kishori, can you imagine with what emotions he must be chanting? What anticipation? And he's so tired, he's not eaten. Half the staircase he's gone up that he cannot even climb the next step. गिर रहा है. Kishori, Kishori. What happens? Suddenly in his heart he feels, ecstasy, happiness. The same, not the same happiness, far greater than the happiness than what he used to get through his wife. So he suddenly starts feeling, and he looks around. And when he looks up, what does he see? He sees Kishori standing there. But this Kishori is not his wife Kishori. When he sees Srimati Radharani, he's already forgotten his Kishori. वो Kishori को भूल गया वो. He's seeing this Kishori. Long past him short. Radharani comes, holds his hands, and takes him away. Kishori, Radharani's mercy. This is a very famous, I heard, tale which is spoken in Brajbhumi. How merciful she is. And that is our aspiration, right? To get her mercy. That's foundational. Maharaj said, if we are deprived of that mercy. And the third catastrophe, I have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, Prabhuji. I'll just mention the first, fifth, the third catastrophe. So when Radharani's mercy falls on a bhakta, what does she do? She takes the bhakta and she presents him to whom? Krishna. Vrindavan Chandra. This bhakta, what service he's done, that he's won my heart. Prabhupada said, this is how Srimati Radharani presents the devotee to Vrindavan Chandra, to Krishna. And whomsoever Radharani presents to Krishna, Krishna is bound. Because Krishna's heart has been stolen by whom? By Srimati Radharani. Krishna has given a word you can say to Radharani. I have to just accept that bhakta. So now what does Krishna do? What does it mean when Krishna accepts that devotee? Again, what is the form of Krishna that we see, whether it is Tokyo, Japan, North America, South America, India, Bangladesh, wherever we see Krishna's form, what is the form that we see? Flute has to be there. Even Krishna Balram temple where Prabhupada set up, does Krishna have the flute? Yes. When devotees, worship Gopalji also, the flute has to be there. What is this flute? This flute Krishna plays more than for himself, is for what? To attract. When he used to go to the barn with 9 lakh cows, how to get all the 9 lakh cows back? Where they are, he doesn't know, all over the place. He'll just go above the tree, right? Kadamba tree, Ter Kadam mein dekha na. He'll go up the tree, he'll play his flute. And when he plays his flute, every cow, the cows are hearing through the melody of that flute, what? Their names being called out. Pingala is hearing her name being called out. Same thing when he wanted to do the Ras Leela, right? Under the Vamsivat tree, he played the flute again. What are the gopis hearing? Vishakha is hearing through the flute, through the melody of the flute, what? Vishakhe, Vishakhe, Lalite, Lalite. Everybody is hearing their names through the melody of that flute. Krishna attracts the devotee through that flute. Now, so much can be said. I'm just going to end with what Prabhupada said about this flute. I want to read it exactly. I don't want to make up. For us devotees, it's important, so I thought I'll read it. This comes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very wonderful. It comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 21, 144. If you all want, you all can refer to it. What Prabhupada said. This vibration of Krishna's flute, which attracted, we saw the gopis and the cows and all. This vibration of Krishna's flute is represented by the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that if we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, ultimately this Maha Mantra ke madhyam se only, just like those cows are hearing their names, gopis are hearing their names, we can also hear. He says, a serious devotee of the Lord who chants and hears this transcendental vibration becomes so accustomed to it that he cannot divert his attention to any other subject matter not related to Krishna's blissful characteristics and paraphernalia. Through the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then Maharaj was explaining the third catastrophe. If Krishna puts his flute down, if Krishna deprives us of that attraction which he does through the flute, there can be no bigger catastrophe. We see in the life of His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, because we might think, Prabhuji, wo to cows bahut special hai, wo Lalita or Vishakha Shaki. Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, in his final days, what Prabhupada has said through the transcendental chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you can experience the same. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was experiencing that. You all have heard Maharaj's class, right? 4 hours class which he gave. Towards the end, his condition was so painful. His leg was actually amputated, his collarbone was broken. I was very fortunate to have the last darshan when he had given. And that time he met one of his god sisters who knows us very well. She told us, Vegvati Mataji. When she went to meet him, because Maharaj had announced, this is my last darshan. After this, nobody will see me. So everybody went. My Guru Maharaj told me, you must go. So we all came. Vegvati Mataji was literally crying because she would never see him. You don't know how Maharaj responded to her? He had big smile on his face and he said, Vegvati, now starts the real fun. Please contemplate on this. हमको अगर कैंसर हो जाए और हमको डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया 2 हफ्ता टाइम है, how many of us will have the guts to stand up and say, now starts the real fun? And Radhanath Maharaj explains later on, in his last few days when they would chant Hare Krishna, Kirtan used to happen. What was his response? Amazing! So wonderful! He would tell Maharaj, it doesn't get better, what I'm experiencing. And then again, next moment he would say, it's still getting better. This is what Prabhupada is explaining. He was experiencing that through the holy name. So, how we can also be free or be secured from these 3 catastrophes? Because Maharaj said, these 3 catastrophes are real catastrophes for a devotee or for anybody outside. Krishna differentiates himself from the holy name, deprived of Radharani's mercy and devoid of Krishna's attracting us through the flute. How can we protect ourselves from this? One time Mahatma Prabhu wrote an article. Very wonderful. You know, he writes articles in BTG and all. He writes that Mahatma Prabhu is saying, I have reached the spiritual world. When he reaches the spiritual world. In an article he is writing. So he said, when I went to Golok Vrindavan, I saw one devotee over there from Florida. And when I saw that devotee, I was surprised. Arey, ye kaise yahan pahunch gaya? He was very envious. He is also here. Then in the next paragraph he writes, I saw one Mataji also. She is here. Arey, she used to be so proud. Whenever she used to bake cake, she used to feel very proud. And then he said, I saw devotees, so many devotees. And I'm thinking, how did they all make it back here in the spiritual world? He was looking at all these people. And he says, very wonderful. He says, all these devotees are looking at me. And do you all know what they are thinking? Hey, Mahatma Prabhu bhi yahan pahunch gaya. How did Mahatma Prabhu reach here? And then he concludes so wonderfully. He said, we all unanimously understood only by His divine grace. Whose divine grace? Srila Prabhupada. That was our only qualification. As long as we are under the ashraya of Prabhupada, then we are safe, protected from these catastrophes. He said, he ended it so well, only by His divine grace. So, I'm going to request you all, I'm already 10 minutes. This might be my last Bhagavatam class. They'll disqualify me. From now, don't give him class to give. What we are going to do is we are going to end practically. अभी जब हम लोग ने सुना है ना, we are going to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. How? Praying that never ever in our existence should Krishna differentiate himself from the holy name. We should never be deprived of Radharani's mercy. And third is what? Krishna's flute should always be there to attract us finally at some point. एक बार Hare Krishna Mahamantra हम will chant with, it's a prayer, we always chant it prayerfully. Let us chant with this mood prayerfully one time, everybody please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Thank you all very much. Please forgive me. I've gone 15 minutes overboard. I know it's time for you all for prasadam, but please forgive me. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.